So we titled our board, Who You Gonna Call, and then Hispanics Reporting Crime in Tulsa. And I'm going to talk about the major problems that we identified. So with the crime rate continuing to rise in Tulsa and the continued diversification of our growing population, Tulsa is faced with adversities. So these are a couple of crime maps that we found. This top one just places a dot where a crime has been committed. I know you guys probably can't see that very well, but the one below here is a little harder to see, but the darker areas represent the safest areas of Tulsa, and the lightest are the most dangerous areas where more crimes are committed. So based on this map, this is the majority. So it's the north side and the east side areas of Tulsa. And this is further down, and this is, this is Broken Arrow, so it cuts off. This here shows the property crime rate comparison per 1,000 residents. It states, what are my chances of becoming a victim? Tulsa has a 1 in 19 chance versus the rest of Oklahoma, which is 1 in 31 for being a victim of burglary and theft. And then this one is chances of being a victim of murder, rape, robbery, or assault. And Tulsa has a 1 in 79 chance, which doesn't sound terrible, but then compared with the rest of Oklahoma, who has a 1 in 227 chance, I don't really like those odds. Tulsa also here has a 130 crimes per square mile that are committed versus the rest of Oklahoma, which has 21 crimes per square mile committed. So the population in Tulsa is and has been growing. In particular, the Hispanic population now accounts for the majority of Tulsa's minority citizens at 80,000 people, which has grown from 2013's number of 72,012. The majority of this population, based on observation and living in Tulsa, is located or resides in the east side of Tulsa, which again is where a lot of crimes are being committed, and it's not as safe a place to live. So this particular population has been found to have a culture that adheres to privacy and wishes to handle problems within their own families and in their own way. So Officer Guardiola explained to us that being accustomed to a police force, for instance in Mexico where his parents are from, that give favoritism to the highest bidder, Hispanics tend to have the same assumptions about the police force in the United States. So this poses a particular roadblock for the Tulsa Police Department and their officers. In addition to mistrust for the police force, the Hispanic population often live in fear of deportation. So although they may see a crime or become a victim of a crime, they choose not to report it. All of that to say that, as you just heard Officer Guardiola speak about, criminals have become wise to the vulnerability of the Hispanic population and target them in committing crimes because they will most likely get away with it. You also heard previously about the kind of domino effect that this has on our entire community. Hispanics keep being targets of criminal activity. The criminals become more brave because they aren't getting caught. They branch out to worse and worse crimes and to a more broad spectrum of victims. In addition to constantly being victims of crimes, the mental abuse that accompanies that lifestyle of living in fear then goes on to affect each new generation. One other thing in particular that Officer Guardiola mentioned was the dropout rate of first-generation Hispanics, and this chart here doesn't show dropout rate, but it shows higher education enrollment in Oklahoma by race and ethnicity. The numbers are from 2009, but Hispanics are the lowest at 4.6%. Caucasians are at 64.8%. And then even in comparison with the other two minority groups that are represented, Native Americans are at 10.3%, African Americans are at 10%. So Hispanics are less than half of even the other minority groups. So if we do not intervene to empower these individuals within the community, then we are just enabling the cycle to continue. It starts with simply spreading the word to have Hispanics report these crimes and safeguarding these individuals in the process.